One day, some of you will come to me, oh God, if you know opportunity. It's one of those people that I have to call out. At least, if not for myself, for the sake of the kingdom, for the sake of helping others, I need to keep those networks that I have. And that is the discussion that we're having. Now, let me tell you the story of one young man who works in the national security in the country at the moment. And this story was told to me by his brother. Now, the story is that that young man, when he was in school, a certain lady was his friend. You know, some people they are very good, so they support their friends, their colleagues, and that kind of thing. So the guy was like that. And then after school, this lady was having a wedding. So the guy went for the wedding. In fact, I think 3 years after school, he was not working. He didn't have job to do, but he attended a friend's wedding. He was even contemplating whether he should attend because before you meet other mates and they say, Charlie, where are you? You don't know whether you are hanging in space or you are in the clouds or you are on land or even under the earth. But he went anyway. Then after the wedding, the lady who had the wedding saw him, shook hands with him, and then the lady was introducing the guy to some of the people, some of the family members who were there. Oh, this is my mate, my friend. One of the people that the lady introduced this guy to was the national security coordinator. Apparently, the national security coordinator was the lady's uncle. The guy didn't know it. So you don't know the people you are sitting by, eh? Some of us, when we came there, even the person you sat by, he good morning, bro, how are you? Good morning, common good morning, you didn't say. And this is what professionals do. If you come and the meeting has started, you just say good morning and sit. Before the meeting starts, when you go and somebody is sitting there, start talking with them. Start engaging them in conversation. How are you doing? You introduce yourself. Okay, I am so and so. Maybe I am a human. I'm reading mining engineering or computer engineering something. Let them tell you about themselves. You don't know how that few moments of conversation will strike something long lasting for you. So this lady now introduced this guy to her uncle, who was the national security coordinator at the time. And then the national security coordinator asked the young man, so where are you working now? So say, I'm not working. Really? Okay. Send me your CV. That is how the young man got job in national security. Then he was at that time they were doing recruitment. And then he was pushed in. This has nothing to do with political party. You don't need to belong. That guy doesn't, I don't think he belongs to that party. It has nothing to do. You think for Ghana, everything is politics. That the one you see is what we are saying. But in reality, a lot of people benefit who do not have political connections, but they know their friends. Yes, there is one of the coordinators in the Western region and one of the government agencies. He is our student. I called him. You know, I told you that I'm calling a friend. I called him. I said, hey, one hour. I said, your level assistant, level don't change. Now, honorable, can you train me now? Who is it training? So, the office where you are, is there no training that I can do? He said, oh, yeah, there are trainings, but you need to bring a proposal. I said, I'm going to give it much more. And to the member to have opportunity to be about. No, I didn't. Now it's so it has nothing to do with political party. It has something to do with friendship. It has something to do with network. It has something to do with treating people well. The people who come into your space, respecting them and handling them well. That is what it is. It's not about political party. It's not everything about political party. There are some of the political party activists who are suffering than some of us who are not members of the political parties. But they are actively they are suffering. Because at the end of the day, I have network with the person, right? You know, the MC. The MC was our student in humans. Yeah, he was working there. But he was also our student. So when he meets me outside, last time I met him at Melbourne, he will not just say, ah, Ike. He called me Brock. I said, oh, what am I about office? Before I said, me go come inside. Before I was a answer, right? Anyway, it's very important. And that is what we are discussing. Now let's talk about communities. Okay, communities. There are different types and they play different roles. So what is a community? Nobody is one of the questions that we said we are going to ask. You remember the three questions? Uh-huh. What is a community? Now, by community, we are talking about a network. We are talking about a connection of people who have the same interests. They go by the same values. Sometimes they have the same location. A community could be physical, like we are here, YPF, right? This is physical. Okay. Or it could also be virtual. YPS also has its virtual platform, right? So some communities are hybrid, and some are purely physical, some are also purely virtual, right? Now, communities serve as foundation for social support. Communities serve as foundation for what? Building your identity, building competencies, and also for collective actions. Communities are very important when you come to Takwa. Takwa is a town, but there are so many communities, different communities in the town. Even though it's one town, different communities. And guess what? When you go into the different communities, there are different characteristics that you will find in these communities. Like where I live, Brababami, when you come there, the nature of the environment, the kind of people who live there, and their lifestyle there might be different from Brainwashing. Do you agree? Yes, so communities are very important for us, helping us to identify ourselves. And in fact, even Brababami, when you come there, sometimes when I take taxi and they are going, they say, oh, which side are you going? They say, oh, may call a Brababami, Sikapo Amantem area on. I have branded my area that a Brababami and Sikapo, the area is area. But yeah, I'll tell them now, oh, Brababami, maybe a Sikapo, the area. And that's what I tell the drivers. Brababami and Sikapo Amantem, the area go at all. Uh-huh. So communities are very important. Now, there are different types of communities. So like we said, community may be defined by the geographical area, right? So the neighborhoods, the towns, cities, and sometimes they are united by the place, right? Then we also have communities that are based on interests. So what is my interest? Like hobby groups, right? Sometimes weekends you will see those who are jogging, right? The K-Fit groups. This is a community. Today, if not because of this meeting, I should have gone for aerobics, right? It's a community, okay? Once you join the community, you start getting to know new groups of people. You start getting to know different people, where they come from. And already, when I joined not too long ago, I'm getting to know some people. Sometimes we go there to exercise, but we spend time to talk. After the aerobics, sometimes we stand there, have a discussion about ourselves, where we are. And already, I got people there who want to enroll on our management studies program. Just because I am there and I'm discussing about my school and what programs we are running. You get the point. So communities are very important. And there are professional networks. Professional networks are also there. Then, of course, they have the fan club. Then there are also cultural communities where they are networked by ethnic groups. So I am a Bono person, right? I understand the Bono people. They have some association here. I've never been there before. I didn't know. I was told by somebody that I met. Oh, the Bono people, they have some association, they have been meeting at the labor office. I didn't know that, right? So maybe one day I might go there. So I see the Bono people who are in Takwa, okay? It's what? Ethnic group. I remember I attended one funeral of one of our late professors, and then he is away. So there were people around. They came, right, and they brought the Agbaja dance, and they were doing it. Ah, if you are not a member, when you die, they will come and Agbaja you. Yes. Then we have religious congregation as we have. Then also language speakers, right? So my daughters tell me they are members of the French club, and they are even going to travel, and they are taking a lot of money from me to travel. Okay, as a club, French club, so it's language. Okay, and it also has its own way of impacting the lives of the people, right? So sometimes you want to learn a certain language, you join that club, and then you go for meetings where they teach you and all of that. Then we have virtual platforms like the social media groups. These ones are very common, right? If you take the church, there are so many social media groups, so many groups, right? And sometimes if you wake up and you care to check, you will spend maybe 2 hours trying to read through messages that people are posting. Ah, so we have social media groups, we have online gaming clans, and we have also forums and all of that. Now, within these groups, the groups have roles they play in our lives, in our development. And then there are roles also in these groups, right? So we have leaders in these groups. I mean, if there are no leaders, then it can't even be a group. Okay, it can't even be a group. Every group will have a leader. Otherwise, there will be chaos. Who says what? Who leads what? Right? So there are leaders who will guide, they will organize, they will inspire us to what? To achieve a collective effort. Okay. Then we have connectors, right? Connectors. So these people they build bridge, okay, they bridge different groups, right? They foster relationship. So they are connectors. They try to link people up so that we can all focus on a certain direction. Now, in the spiritual language, especially in the DLCM, they say follow-up coordinators. The follow-up coordinators are actually supposed to help people to connect with whatever is happening in the fellowship, right? Then we have contributors, okay? Contributors, those who actively participate, they share knowledge and resources. So there are people within the groups, there are people who have so much skills, competences, and they have to share with other people so that they can also learn, they can also grow. Then we have supporters who provide encouragement, those who help to maintain the community spirit. When those people are not there, you realize that things are missing. We are missing something, right? There are those people. So within groups, there are different roles that people can play. So in the YCF, YPF, YPF, what is your role? What is your role? You are CMF or CFM, CFM, right? You are CFM, no CFM, common floor member. So you are always warming the bench. And for you, even to get you to come here is a hell of time for the leaders. They will call you, sir. They will call you, sir. You don't even want to show up. It's like they have to cajole you to be here. What is your role in the group? Now let's talk about professional communities. So generally, you know that when we talk about a community, we are talking about a group of people who are connected based on what? Interests, based on values, based on location, and several other factors. But now let's look at professional um, communities, okay, professional communities. Now, these days, social media can help you to connect with people all over the world. Okay, so as a industrial economist, if I want to link up with people who are in the same field, you just have to add it to your profile on LinkedIn or on social media. You just tick that, oh, this your interest is in relation to people who are in the space of what? Industrial economics. And the algorithm that those systems use, they will start networking. You will be there, and then you get a, is it invite or request, right? You get request, and when you check the background, you realize that it's somebody from the same background that you are, especially on LinkedIn. Okay, if you want to develop professional network, LinkedIn is number one. You have to be there. It's number one. It's very easy to connect with people within your professional network. And you have to indicate your areas of interest. If you are interested in teaching maybe children, right, or teaching in the university, or even teaching a certain program, just indicate it, and then the algorithm will start bringing people, connecting people. You'll be finding a lot of requests, okay? And when you check, you realize that, and then they will also be suggesting several other groups, networks within your sphere of interest. Okay, so there are those professional groups where professional knowledge is shared. They also share the norms of certain professions, the goals, the values of network. They learn, they collaborate. Sometimes you want to attend a conference in a, where do you find the information? Through those professional networks, you find information about conferences that are happening in your space. Then you can apply and also attend. And these professional communities, they shape the identity of the members. They shape your expertise because you'll be learning from people who have gone ahead. Somebody is in your network. Sometimes you read their post and you are like, wow, it's good that I'm reading this. I am a I am a researcher, right? I have a company where we do research. And because of that, when I go on Facebook, most of the time they will suggest the research information. Then when I see and I go through and I'm interested, I screenshot. Sometimes I'll copy the link and go and save it somewhere. Sometimes I will share it with my team members. When I go on TikTok, right, how to develop PPT, how to use Excel, things about research, those are the things that they will bring. So if you go on TikTok and then you are just playing a radio over and then I'm in Kwame Brace every day, that's the song that they will bring to you. Every time, that's what they will bring to you. The system is designed to recognize, to detect your interests. So once they realize that you're always looking at things about PPT, they will be suggesting, and I have a lot of them, right? Sometimes they are even too much to learn. And these are things that you will not find in the classroom. These are things you don't learn in the classroom. As a researcher, every time I'm going through the space, they will bring somebody sharing something, just a small area. Then I will copy the link and I'll send it to my team members and I'll tell them that this is very important. You must all listen to it to improve on what we are doing. Sometimes I go on LinkedIn, then somebody will share a paper that they have published. Then they will put the link. I will go and look for the paper and download it and share it with my team members and say, this thing that we have been doing, this is a new way to do it. So these professional communities are very important. They help to build expertise. And of course, it is also a platform where you can also influence. You can also influence others. You know, one of the things I do, right, is I'm a quotist, okay, a quotist. So I write quotes. Since 2018, I have written over 500 quotes. And every day I write. Every day I write. In fact, I have published 2 books on quotes. And I have, if I want to publish, I have about 10 books I can publish today. Because I'm always writing quotes. And as I write, and I'm on LinkedIn, and I put there that I write codes, you'll be there, and somebody will contact you. Oh, we are a publishing company. So if you want to publish a book, we can assist. That is what it is. That is what happens. And through these quotes, I go on TikTok and I post my quotes. Sometimes I do a write up in addition to the quotes because I know some of the quotes you won't understand because you don't know where it's coming from. So sometimes I write a short piece to explain what the quotes mean, right? Then every time I post, new people will be connected with me. Every time I post, new people will be connected. Why? It's because of what I'm posting. That's why, because they will read, they will see what you are doing, and then they start following you, right? So you also have opportunity to influence um, the network, to influence other people in the space. For example, we have teacher teams. So, like I said, maybe you are interested in teaching kids, or you are interested in teaching mathematics, or teaching music, or teaching a certain language tree, right? When you link up, you will get platforms that you will join, and sometimes the things that you will learn, you will be amazed. You will be amazed the kind of things that you are going to learn. Okay. Now, these professional communities, they provide so many benefits, right? Um, like in Ghana, we have the Ghana Bar Association. You know it, right? You know the GMA. You know GMA, Ghana Medical Association, right? Ghana Medical Association. Okay. UTAG, the one I belong to, right? The University Teachers Association of Ghana. We have the GJA. All these are professional associations, right? Now, some of the professional associations, just by virtue of being employed in a certain field, a certain profession, you become a member. Whether you like it or not, they will be taking your dues. So if you like say you are not part, they will still take your dues. So you are part. Then there are those that you have to pay fees, subscription. And some of those ones you have to even take exam and pass to qualify as a member. And every year you have to renew your membership. Otherwise, you are not a member in good standing. I think the association of, is it engineers or something. Once you are not a member in good standing, every year they publish the names of their members. They will remove your name. Now, if they remove your name, technically what it means is that if I am going to give job in the area of, let's say, civil engineering project, and then I want to look for people who are credible, if you are not part of the association, I will not give you the job. Because once they have removed your name, it means that you are not a member in good standing. So, so every year you have to make sure that you are a member in good standing. You have to attend meetings. You have to do your contribution. Sometimes they travel. You have to be part. You can't just be paying dues. You are not attending meetings and you claim that you are a member of the association or of the group, right? So there are so many of these things around. Then, of course, we have the YPF, right? You know the YPF. You know YPF? Which one is that? Which one is that? Hey, you don't know YPF? Hey, Young Professional Network. This one, this is YPF. You don't know. Hey, my people. You know, your confidence in even saying YPF is suspicious. When you do that, the forum will not grow. Because the more people are using the name YPF, 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 you write things on social media, you put hashtag YPF, hashtag YPF. That is how the name will travel very far and will catch up with a lot of people. So at a point in time when you say YPF, everybody will know what YPF is, right? Now, the benefits, okay. So there is mentorship. Yes, there is mentorship. there is knowledge sharing, okay, there is career growth, which we are very much interested in this forum. Then there is also innovation through collaboration, right? So somebody gets a project, they call you, right? Some of my friends in Accra, when they have some project, some training, they will call me, oh, Charlie, I have a training in this area. Would you have time? Okay, would you be available? Sometimes somebody will get a contract, he doesn't have time, he will call. Okay, so there is this ready if you have time. Ah, why not? Since there is local fuel inside, you know local fuel. You don't know local fuel. Hey, my people. Okay, because I didn't introduce myself as more money, right? So that one, yeah. Next, I will talk about more money. Eh, once there is local fuel inside, I say, ah, I dey inside. I will go. Yeah, so these networks are very important. Of course, some of the networks are personal, social. They are not professional groups. Those ones are like your friends, your mates, okay? But you are connected through profession. That's how we became friends, right? Maybe we went to study, we studied in the same school. So we have become friends by virtue of studying in the same school. Those are the people who will bring you the jobs. That's why I said you have to keep the connection with them. Then in modern times, communities have, evolved. That's why we said communities may be defined by location, right? But these days we are all very busy. The time traveling from our houses to this place. So if let's say every month we want to be meeting here, there will be what? Fatigue, meeting fatigue. At a point in time, diminishing return will start setting in. People no more want to come. So we have blended what versions where sometimes we meet if we think that oh these are things that we need to see eye to eye, discuss the issues and challenge ourselves. Sometimes yeah we are meeting online, you are wherever you are. Sometimes the prayer sessions and all those things, online prayer and all of that, they are all part of it. They are all part of it, right? They are all part of it. Then sometimes you can even do a conference. I remember was it last year or yeah, last year. Yes, the beginning of last year. I went to UCC, right? They were having conference in the DLCF. Okay, it was a conference, special conference. I've forgotten the theme of the conference. To speak on research, okay, research, academic research, and all of that. And through that, some of the people connected with me, one of the brethren from there, is part of my research team now because I attended that conference and I spoke on research. After the meeting, he came to talk to me. Oh, I like what you said. So can I? I said, sure. Then we started, chatting. Now he's part of the people that I mentor when it comes to research. So usually every Saturday I do research training free of charge. They don't pay. I commit my time to do training for people who are interested in research. And he is even the organizer of my research team. How did I link up? It was through the conference that I attended in UCC. I didn't know him before. And after the meeting, he came to me, right? Because I was one of the speakers. And now he's one of my close allies when it comes to research. So these things are very, very important. Now, there are different types of professional groups also. Okay, some are for practice. Like in human, there is a certain group. They call it ENIX. I don't know whether I wrote it. I wrote it the right way. ENIX on the previous. No, the previous. Yeah, this one. ENIX. AENICS. AE, right? AA. Okay, ENIX. So he's given us a. Yeah, I see them every time they are into this robotics. Okay, so I see them meeting in our building, right? It's practice. That's what they do. That whenever they meet, they have different groups in the meeting and they are practicing these robotics things. So some of the groups are for practice. Like I said, me too, I do practice. The practice is what? Research. So I train them, I give them data, And I even ask them to practice. We even have a project where they have to go and do some data collection and try to write a research paper and all of that. Practice. We meet almost every Saturday, except the days that I'm not available. Like today, I'm not sure if we will meet because I'm here, right? Otherwise, every Saturday we meet. I take them through, then they practice. I give them tasks, I give them assignment. They come and report. I go through. Okay, put this here, change that, fix that here. Some of the groups are like that. They are for practice. Okay. Then some of the groups too, they are learning communities. The idea is what? Continuous improvement, right? Continuous improvement, like students, various student associations, teacher collaborating teams to develop curriculum, to develop some programs and things. I remember my in-law was in our house and he was telling me that they have a certain group, they are developing a certain app for their school, for their university, right? The school has not given them any task. They themselves have decided. So they have a group where they are trying to develop a software to solve a certain problem for their school, for their university. And you see, I'm sure that if they are able to do that, definitely when the school is looking to employ some people, they will be considered. Because if you have been able to bring an app, a software that will solve the problem of the school, then it means that you are somebody that the institution or the organization is interested in. Then we have subject specific communities which are built around disciplines, right? They have unique cultures and they have certain collaborative styles. Now, all of these groups, the power of these groups is through what? Collaboration, trust, and shared leadership. This is very important, right? So for these groups to grow, to thrive, is what? Collective learning. Collective learning is very important. Like we are here, there is collective learning. Okay, if you don't come, then the group doesn't have power. The group doesn't have any positive effect on your life. Then there is a shared vision. Now, unfortunately, some of the people here, they are here because they are church members and they heard that there is a program and so they have come. They don't know the vision of YPF. And I'm sure if we do a survey right now, you are not here because you know the vision of YPF. You just know that you are a member of the church, and then they said there is this group that is meeting, and by description, you fall within the description. So you are here. That is problematic. What is the vision of YPF? Do you see yourself in the vision of YPF? This is very important. Otherwise, you will be doing this flip-flopping. You come by convenience. But when you share in a vision, it's not easy. Rain or shine, you'll be there because your life is connected to it. So one of the things that we have to sell is the vision of the group. What is this YPF supposed to do? What is the essence of YPF? Okay, so if I come, I join. What is the goal? If it's just another platform for sermon, then Sunday service, Bible study, revival are enough, right? Congress, youth camp, all those things, they should be enough to solve. So we have to have distinct vision of the YPF so that people will see why they are part of the YPF. And they, again, such drive innovation. And I'm sure that by the time you go out of this place, you will pick a certain idea to change maybe something that you are doing or to what? Encourage you to put more effort in whatever you are doing. And these also enhance professional growth through shared practice and reflective dialogue as a forum, right? So as a forum, you'll be asking me questions and I'll be saying something. Somebody might be inspired by some of the things that I will say. It builds resilience and morale by fostering trust and mutual obligation. You see? So I put, no, I think the previous one. I put, yeah, BICLA. So BICLA is one of those associations that I am forming. It's called Business Communication and Leadership Association. That's a big club, right? So I have a team that we have been meeting for the last 2 semesters. So we are looking at communication, we are looking at leadership, we are looking at entrepreneurship. And so all the people who come, we have meetings, right? Whether online or face to face, we use hybrid. And then through these meetings, we discuss even how to read, why you should read. We discuss communication, how you should communicate. Okay, if somebody is MC, so don't worry when I was criticizing them. Because these are things that I train and I teach on. So I am very passionate about it, right? Communication and things like that. One of the young men in the group, he came to me. He wants to start some business. I said, it's a very good idea. He wanted to buy some shirts and sell. I said, very good idea. Now he came to me and said, oh, doc, the things I wanted to buy, my money is not. I send money to him. Why? I am giving him platform to grow. So it's not just coming to meeting and teaching you or training you on entrepreneurship. In Ghana, we have had a lot of training, right? But how do people start? How do people start? Because he was in Nigeria. They went to Nigeria for internship. And then in Nigeria, things are cheaper. Things are cheaper compared to Ghana. So I was there, he discussed with me some shirts that he has seen and um, he wants to start something. I said, wow, that is very good. You want to start something, entrepreneur, that's good. Okay. Then he went to check. He said, oh, my money is not enough. I said, okay, how much is it? So and so I calculated. I sent him, I said, okay, so you buy some, come and let's try the market and see. Of course, it's business. So I am an investor. And what I'm doing, I'm an investor. It's not giveaway. It's not giveaway. If you are treated like that, you will not even be serious. But if I give you the money, I'm so very serious. You will not joke with the business. So I gave him money to buy some shirts. He came to my office within the week. He brought some of the shares to come and show me. Then I asked him, okay, so how much are you going to sell it? What is your target market? Who are the people you are expecting to buy? I said, okay, there is primary market, there is secondary market, there is tertiary market. Which one are you? Then he was calculating, he said, student. I said, but the price you are mentioning, students cannot buy this price. So, okay, I have identified some shops. I'm going there. I said, okay, you better do because the price that you are mentioning, how many students can buy one shirt for 350 Ghana cedi? Shirt or t-shirt keke. T-shirt keke. T-shirt do never than say $500. But a t-shirt keke, why? So I have to now he has bought the things, but now I have to still guide him, okay, how to sell. Because if you are not careful, you just see a shop and you think that, oh, if I go, they will buy. Then I have to let him know wholesale selling and retail selling, they are not the same. So you should be very clear who you are dealing with. You want to retail or you want to wholesale. The pricings are not the same. You need to understand the game. Otherwise, you buy the things you can't sell. He said, oh, this kind of shirts, I have identified some Galamsey people in my church and they normally like this. I said, okay. Then now I had to teach him when you go and meet them, how should you talk to them? Direct marketing. This is now direct marketing because it's one-on-one. So when you go, how are you going to convince a person to buy the shirt that you have? Then I have to now tell you, when you go, say this. Let them appreciate that this shirt, you bought it because of them. Say, shirt, yeah, me kura, udi kura atake shirt, no biti. The shirt we within and that's one try, and you're fine. Shirt we there is auto. I have to now guide him on that step also. So these groups and associations, they are very important because you have people with different backgrounds, experiences, and exposures inside there. And I was telling him that one of the books that I read when I started selling with Barclays Bank as a salesman is a book by Joe Gerard. how to sell anything to anybody. So I like to tell people, one kasa oto no di abra meton. What to one obi aba say, ya to wa ma mi o before ako. Because it's one of the books I read, how to sell anything to anybody by Joe Gerald. Maybe if you are interested in selling, you can look for that book. And then about public speaking, one of the books I read was by Brian Tracy, Public Speaking by Brian Tracy. So I used to travel with those books in my bag, those times when I was working as a salesman, and I used to read. And no wonder, in my team, I was the best salesman in my team at that time in Barclays Bank in Kumasi, Asaf. That's where our office was. I am not a marketer. I am business administration, accounting. I didn't do market. So don't say, oh, but you have certificate. It's not about certificate. I was trained as accountant, but my first job after national service was market, and I took it. And I was traveling almost the whole country to go and do sales. When I stand in front of the people to speak, wow, better. And it's very difficult to sell a service than a product, right? So when the phone back you, phone with a screen. Now, are there any screen, any cover, any how do you sell it? It's very difficult. So you have to work on the mind of the person. You have to work on the emotions of the person. It is a skill that you need. It is a skill. It doesn't just happen. And so these professional groups, these are things that you get. Okay. As for the importance, um, in these groups we have discussions, right? Then people also volunteer. I'll talk about volunteering and then the mentoring that I'm talking about. So like that young man. Now I listed, hey, Bobo is also what to make difference about. Oh, me a guy. Who's made the mentor? Me a guy. Now, I listed these ones, right? Success, youth Success Academy and our Success Youth Academy and our Success Academy Youth Success. Which one? Youth Success Academy. So, far back in 2000, we started this Success Academy for youth. Those times, right? Pastor Ogun Yogi's time. Then in 2002, GS came to trade fairs, those who attended that trade fair. So that's where all these things started, and later on, we had this success. Previously, it was youth success camp that we used to attend in the 90s. We used to attend youth success camp. Then in the year 2000, we transitioned to the Success Academy for Youth, where GS came in 2002. And then the recent one is what? Impact. Hey, people, you have to keep track of the things that are happening. Now, in all these platforms, right, there are discussions that go on. People volunteer, right? The common one that you know is the choir, right? People is a choir that you know. But in these meetings, there are many, many, many more things that happen behind the scenes. You only know choir and trumpet. Okay, that's the one that you see. But there are a lot of things that people do. There are many young men and women in the church, but for these programs, how are you going to meet the JS to sit close to him? But through this program, some of them they arrange the background things for GS. So they have opportunity to be speaking to the GS. But otherwise, arrows it's not easy for arrow to get access to speak to GS. How much more you normal church youth? But through these volunteering things, you have opportunity to speak to GS. When GS went to Canada, the young man who was driving him around, a young man, he's from Ghana. He went to Canada, he was the one driving GS. In the 90s, when GS came, our pastor, our district pastor at the time, Pastor Who, he was the one, the NO, Pastor, um, the first Nigerian pastor. No, no, no. The first one. Pastor Jide. Yes, so Pastor Hope is the one that Pastor Jide will assign to be driving GS around. But now, a lot of young people, they have opportunity to work. And in fact, I was told that one of the recent ones that he came to Ghana, the car that he was using, right, was the car of this young man. You know this Alpha Hour. The car was his car. Porsche car, Porsche car. And as a result, the young man, he had opportunity to meet GS. And GS even prayed for him. You don't know the power of volunteering. I have written an article. I wrote it far back, maybe 2017. I call it Transferable Skills from Church to the Workplace. Transferable skills from church to the workplace. You see what these young men are doing here. One day, this can become their career. It can become something that is feeding them, not certificate. It's not everybody that certificate will feed. Some people, it's just some of these skills that they are doing in church. That is what will feed them. Some of the people in the school, there's some young ladies, they brought me a card. They say they are protocol officers. So when you have program, they come and do protocol. A lot of these protocol things, where does it happen? In church, because every weekend we have church meetings. And some of these young men and young ladies, they will be there. They serve as protocol officers. And as a result, they get a skill. And so they put themselves together as a team, as a company, and then they start marketing. When you have events, you invite them as protocol people, and you pay them. It's not free. It's not free. So don't just sit in church. Why should the Osofu be the one standing to usher or to protocol? Why? The young men and young ladies here, what are you doing? You don't know that that thing is somebody's profession. When if let's say national events and a lot of conferences go on, then you get opportunity to go and serve as a protocol officer. By the time you finish, you are getting 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 Ghana cedi. You say free money, they will feed you and all of that. The people who go to stadium and the ball catchers, do you know they pay them? When they brought a African Cup of Nations to Ghana, the people who volunteered to say, do you think that volunteering is free? Hey, they will pay you, but not like professional one, but they will give you some money. And I remember those times after the African Cup, the government was even owing some of the people. Yes. So volunteering is very powerful. And where do we learn volunteering? Church is a very good place to learn volunteering. Church is a very good place to learn these and these skills. And I'm telling you that me, I describe myself as a public speaker. Where did I start speaking in public? In church. And yesterday, I was telling Sister Faith, I said, Sister Faith, I've been standing in front of people for over half of my life. There is no crowd that you put me in front to speak and I can't speak. No crowd. 1 million people. I can still speak. You know why? I've been standing in front of people for more than half of my over 40 years life. I've been standing, speaking, different platforms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, whatever number. So I have developed the skill, the competence of speaking in public. I wish you have some of my master students here and they will tell you about my teaching. When I'm teaching, I'm like I'm preaching. Hey, when I'm teaching, it's like I'm preaching. Nti na mekyerɛ wo adeɛ wie na wɔasua deɛ a wobɛbɔ bi to. Oh yeah, sometimes I warn the students, but they don't listen. Because I'm a preacher and I'm a public speaker, I make things very easy. As you are listening to me, very easy. That is what public speaking is about, so that you are motivated. If you go and you don't go and read, you don't go and learn, wobɛbɔ mbi ama. Wobɛbɔ mbi ama nyame bɛyɛ ɔdɔ. Yeah. So let's look at the last part, growth, career growth. Okay, career growth. Let's look at career growth. With all that we have said, you know how important these professional groups are, communities. When we say professional group, it's just a community, okay? It's a community. And this is one of the community platforms. The general church is a community, but this is a specialized community called Young Professional Forum. Okay, so people who want to grow their profession, they are the people who are supposed to be here. People who want to network, okay, they are the people who are supposed to be here. Now, let's talk about career growth. More time. More time. Every hour. Yes, let's talk about career growth. And this is very important. So, first of all, you must have identified a career that you want to uh, grow in. It's very important. Which path do you want to take? You know, um, like a business trained, I'm business trained. Now, in the field of business, there are so many branches. Even when you come to accounting, that I did for my BS, we have financial accounting, we have auditing, we have taxation, and several other branches of accounting. Even when you come to a financial accounting, like accounts office, there are different roles. Somebody is payment officer, somebody is this, somebody is that. All those things are there. Okay. So which path do you want to take? You, which one? Where do you want to take? It is very important. You see, in America, the presidents of America, most of them, when they finish their job, they become public speakers. Companies invite them, they speak to their staff, and the huge amounts of money that they are collecting is not easy. It's not easy. So public speaking is something that, and these are things that you can develop without going to any school. When you come to school, theory, we'll teach you theory in classroom. Oh, if you want to communicate, do this, do this, do this. But how much time would you have in the classroom to do it? But you can train yourself outside to do that. I remember I was traveling with one young man for JCK in Kumasi, and I was asking him what he wants to do after school and all that. And he was telling me I think he was studying mining. He was telling me he wants to go into selling of mining equipment and things. And I started asking him what knowledge he has about equipment and all that. He is doing mining, but do you think that everybody who is doing mining wants to go underground? No. He wants to deal in what? Selling of what? Mining equipment and equipment in general for mining companies. Right. So in growing your career, we have learned that communities are important. And the statistics show that 85% of jobs are filled through networking. So do not downplay the communities like here, right? Like here. Do not downplay communities. On our UTAG platform, always people are posting things. Okay. I have another platform, Chinese trained professionals. Because I studied in China, we have a platform. Sometimes they put jobs there. Somebody is looking for somebody, there is a salary and all that. They put a contact person there. If you are interested, you call. So according to LinkedIn, LinkedIn is saying that 85% of jobs are filled through networking. And career growth is no longer about skills. So you have skills, yes, but it's no longer about skills. It's about connections and support. But if you have first class and then nobody knows you, what is the essence of first class? In fact, I have a very nice quote. I didn't put it up. No matter how much you know, you must also know people. This is very important. We don't downplay the favor of God. No, I lead prayer and we pray about the favor of God. But God has given you opportunity to meet these people at this point in time of your life. And you never made contact with anybody. You don't even have one person's contact number. That you, when you are even having your wedding, eh, if not your family members, or if not church ehumobro, there will be nobody to even decorate for you. But there are people who call their friends. Oh, sister, I'm doing my wedding so and so that you will be there. Their friends will come and do everything. But you, if the church doesn't use a mobro to come and do decoration and for choir to sing for you, nobody will show up. Why? You have failed to network. Even in church, you see, when me, I was behaving like that in the classroom, reading Bible. As for church, I was very popular. Oh yeah, I was very popular in church. Church, they will be enemy. Because I was everywhere, all kinds in church. I will be enemy. So church, I was all over. Youth fellowship, youth everywhere. Regional, I was there. But in class, that's why they didn't know me. But in church, they knew me by you. Classroom, boy. Church, boo boo. So career growth, take this line, this line, why jump it? There is this line, take it. That career growth is not just about the skills and the competencies you have. It's not just about the certificate that you have. It's also about what? Connections and support. That is why I'm telling you that you have to call people and say that, hey, brother, I did wait there, may you you. You know, as I'm speaking, somebody just called me now. Me really have a friend. Because and I'm a friend, he said, on pay training will be mommy and prayer. The person in the morning we spoke. In the evening, I called again. I said, sister, that's already here for me. Also, look, me and you be there. I don't know say. Minyan kasa wie sa na me the tongues kakra tight. Ah, me kasa wie sa no blow tongues kakra tight. Me say rade manamfa. Aha. She's now calling me. Let her say there is headway. My friend is hey, let it tinama training no because mumu training ya maybe mo ma me hwe o ba ho me de. Right, now baby na me call kasa say ya. Who news guy de be ma me. Last year I did a leadership training for Queen Mothers in the Paramount area under the Queen Mother Nana Konadua the second. I didn't charge. When they came to me, they said, "Oh, and we want to organize this program. We want you to come and you were introduced to us. So how much will you charge?" I said, "Oh, but how can Nana Hima invite me to come and speak to Queen Mothers and I will charge? I can't charge." So I didn't charge. But when I went and I finished, they gave me envelope. At least 2,000. You see, a photo for 2,000 from St. Matthew Roman. You know Roman? To human and on 2000 the editor fuel. Do you understand? It's because they spoke to somebody in the school and the person said, contact Dr. Fu. Me, I didn't know them. So, yes, you know a lot of things. What's a one corner? Who knows you to even recommend you? So it's not enough to be knowledgeable, to be highly intellectual. You have first class. And no, they say, yes, and I get first class, and they go brown. One hwɛ a wobɛnya first class ama ɛkɔm bɛde wo gare kora wonya bi ni gɔbɛ bɛbɔ wo. Please start from church, connect with people, be deliberate. Bro, when we were growing up, you know, that's a training. Bro. If you are a bro, even my own mother, I was calling my mother Sister Teresa. My own mother. Some are a training, you know. My own mother, I was calling her Sister Teresa. Can you imagine? Then growing up, I realized that people have names. Because I realized that when I go to somebody's office, I was struggling whether I should call him Mr. So and so or Brother so and so. Then I realized there is church language. That's what we use in church. And when I go outside, I have to use a professional one. Mr. Doctor, Professor, use that one. Oh, they're the only man is sister this, brother this. I said you should be what? Be deliberate about connecting with people. Be deliberate. Yeah, be deliberate. And being deliberate means that I need to know your name. I don't just say your name, Sister Kwa. Hey, babe, Sister Kwa. Just because you can't ask the person, oh, sister, what name should I save your number with? Obi wɔ hɔ a din bi ɔde bɛma no saa din no wobɔ a na n'ani agye na wofrɛ me voice na wofrɛ Dr. Yika wonim m'ani gye ɛbɛgye koraa na wofrɛ me na aka cappuccino wonim m'ani gye agye koraa wonim m'ani gye agye koraa once I hear that it means you know me that's the meaning obi a wonnim me na ɔmfrɛ me saa that's the meaning. To anybody I call or who calls me, so cappuccino or Ike, I know that the person knows me, either as my student or somebody within my network. I know the person knows me. Otherwise, you won't call me by that name. Be deliberate. Be deliberate. And let's provide, I mean, this is to the leadership. Let's provide mentorship. Identify people, they have some competencies. You see, growing up in church, unfortunately, and I should say, some of the pastors, they didn't help us. Because this thing I'm saying, I tried it where I was in Medina. I realized that when we go for youth camp, they say some people should come and do this drama, and things. And sometimes it's right there that we start calling people disorganized, right? So I started thinking that why don't I put together a group? Then we start training people in acting so that you call youth camper. My mind was youth camper. Yes, you for a can drama. It was when we go for these meetings, we have a more organized group to do what? To act the drama and those things. We started meeting in church. One day the pastor called us. Brother, we went to sit. So this thing that you are doing, is it Lagos that told you to do it? Have you seen Lagos doing it before? At the end of the day, since Lagos is not doing it, and so that's the end. Yeah, really, yeah, good. Because I was training the young people in presenting, MC. MCing is a skill. It doesn't just happen. Upa me yɛmfa wo mɛgyina ha sɛ bɛyɛ introduction na sisa ne yɛ na ahwɛ a otwea a wobɛtwie mu. It's a skill. Do you know people who do this MC at event? Do you know how much money they pay them? A lot of the journalists, that's where they make money, not sitting on radio and TV. When they attend this program and they are invited as MCs and things, that's where they make money. Like Kwame Sefakan. You know Kwame Sefakan, Peace FM. And I remember in China, I introduced a certain program. We were going to have program, men's fellowship. Then they said, oh, I was a treasurer. They said, come and do the introduction of the program. After I did, one of the old women in the church, American lady, Auntie Mary, after church, she came to me and shook me. You know what she said? She said, this is the first time I have heard such good announcement in church. Oh, I mean, yeah, sorry, to send you over, can you? Oh no, when I'm training church leaders, I tell them, even the way you design your program, me who program outline, the way I design it tells me that you are not serious. And yeah, sorry, I'm coming back. Because it tells me that you are not serious. Even the way you design your program outline, we have to put seriousness in everything we do. And I'm saying that some of these things, one day, that is what will land you on some good opportunity. When people encounter you, one day I was invited to the radio station to speak something on youth youth development, youth day. Then one of the big men in the school, human, before the program ended, she told the host, tell Dr. Fun that I will call him tomorrow. So after the program, the host told me that, oh, in fact, the host said it on air that one of the big men in the school has sent a very good message. So after the program, I'll tell you, he said it on air. Then after, he told me. Then when he mentioned the name, I said, oh, okay. So the following day, I didn't wait for the woman to call. I called her because she's a big woman. Me, I'm a small doctor. And yes, she's a big woman in the school. So I shouldn't wait for big woman to call me. So I called her. That auntie, you said you will call me. She said, oh yeah, I would have called you. I said yes, but then she said she wants to come to my office. I said, no, auntie, you can't come to my office. She said, ah, why? I need you to do something. I said, yes, I understand, but you can't come to my office. Tell me when you want me to come, and I'll come to your office. She said, no, 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 doctor, you wait. I will come. I said, no, auntie, you can't come to my office. I will come to your office. But this is what she said. She says, I normally do not listen to radio. I was going to the room when they introduced you and you started speaking. When you started speaking, I said, let me sit down and listen. And what I listened to, I'm like, what? She was telling me. I'm like, what? So there is somebody like this in the school and nobody knows about you. Then I told her, oh, yeah, I just do my work where I am. I mean, that is all. And the few events in the school that they have invited me to speak, after speaking, everybody's like, wow, you made the program really nice. The way you spoke is really nice. And these days, Wednesday, I'll be already. Wednesday, I'll be already. The counseling unit, when they need somebody, they will call Dr. Fun. Then I'll go and speak. Right? It's in church. I learned all these things. The art of speaking. That's why I said I'll speak tomorrow. You'll be sitting here. How do we develop professional career? Okay. It's a lifelong process. It never finishes. Yeah, so I speak. People like it. But you know that I'm always watching people. I write quotes. I'm always listening to quotes from others. These days, on Fridays, I say I have wisdom nuggets. Wisdom nuggets are quotes that I also listen from top speakers, and then I chance on it on TikTok. To me, one of my popular link on that. So every Friday, I don't just post my quotes. I also put a quote, a link of some of these top speakers. Why? I listen to what they also say. Then I'm always learning to what to be better and better and better, right? And sometimes like, okay, I need to do this. There are a lot of things I want to do. I just write the code, but I don't, in fact, I have bought this thing, I've bought one, I've bought some, I have light to do coverage. I have bought them. Because of the codes that I'm doing, I want to do some what production, put it out. Because when you just put picture, yeah, people read it. But when there is video, the research has shown that people watch more video than to read. And people watch more photos than to read. So it's good you have some audio or video going along. And I've bought some of these things to do the production. Yeah. So I'm deliberate and every day I'm seeking to what? To improve and to develop. So you catch the idea, add value to it. Start early. Don't wait till you are late. Start early. Okay? As a student or as professionals, you have to be intentional. You plan. Avoid stagnation. Okay? One way traffic. No. Bring variety, variations in what you do. The key steps, do self-assessment, also research. Yeah, do some research, right? Do some research. Sometimes get some hands-on experience. Okay, go to people, say, no, teach me how you do this. As a researcher and as a communication coach, sometimes when students want to do their defense, I tell them, if you want to learn how to defend your work, you come to me. I'm a coach. Mẹjọ o, mẹjọ, ẹnyẹ free, ẹnu mẹjọ, no go feel. Yeah, I'm a businessman. I should know how to make money. And So you come, I train you how to present your work and how to defend your work, the questions to expect. Yeah, it's part of it. Okay, yeah. As we end, career is shaped by different ways of what. I don't want to go too much into this. From all that we have said, you know that there are different ways that our careers can be shaped, either from professional groups or from normal religious groups, social network, from your normal social friends, classroom, classmates, schoolmates, churchmates. All those things can help to shape your your career. I have a friend who always refer thesis to me, right, to review. And I'm making money from it. I'm telling you, yeah, I make money. And it's not just the money. As I keep reviewing, I'm also learning. As I keep reviewing, I'm also learning. Because when I go and sit in the panel, there are professors. When they are speaking, I'll be making notes. Sometimes in my office, when we are presenting and the professors are speaking, I'll be making notes. Sometimes I make the notes and I advise my student that, hey, these are things you should pay attention to. It's because I'm learning from what other professors are saying. Okay, so when you get opportunity, it doesn't end there, right? It doesn't end there. Be flexible. Give yourself room to learn. Give yourself opportunity to grow. Okay. Um, Now, let me mention four things. Actively participate. That's why I said you are a member of YPF. What is your role? Common floor member or bench warmer. Actively find something to do. This is professional network. Professional network, people don't just come and sit. No, develop some competency. This thing is standing here. Nobody is standing behind. Why? They can't be moving like this. And there are many young men here. So if I decide to move this way, now you have turned me into a preacher. I'm not a preacher. This is not preaching. Right? This kind of thing, sometimes I even want to come close, engage with you. But this thing is standing here, so I have to, it's part of the ethics. You have to always be within the frame of the camera. Right? But there are people who can assist in these things. Maybe you know my fine boy, go be a friend can me picture. Now I'm going to picture, no, me picture now that's no munya way. Kami be gyina mu twitwa me saa na me jaga me ho na mu twitwa. Me wi na me di atoto na me so aka akyɛ nkɔfo sɛ next time mo invite me. Mo so ɛhɔ no me kɔ amagye. Last time I was at Apostolic. I was speaking on Christian entrepreneurship. And when I finished, they gave me envelope. Right? Yeah, they gave me envelope. Nice envelope. Okay. Eh, nti ɛno no me ba amagye nti ka motwitwa me pictures ahɔ na mede akɔtotototo me social media platforms. So na mede gye fans. Mede gye fans nyinaa na mehwɛ sɛ nkurɔfoɔ bi nso bɛfrɛ me na makɔ kasa o. Sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a mɛgye kakra. You have to leverage on everything God has put in you. Don't hide your talent, whether one, two, or three. You have to make good use of every talent. That's what I'm doing. Maybe the Nekasa, for me, I'm not Kasa. Even if you want me to come and be talking to you in your house, so that as I'm talking, you are sitting. Oh yeah, over the American general said, "Oh, mommy, invite us to the Ike. Maybe obi obekasa ọkasa na meda, right? Ọkasa na meda. Oh, ẹyẹ check ni dey here o. Ẹyẹ check ni dey here ẹnyẹ ẹyi environment no. Ẹyẹ ma edwuma nsa mekasa. Mekasa wɔ meeting mu a obi bɛ sere. Mɛtumi akasa nso ama obi ada. Ɛdi no sɛ wopɛ sɛ woda a, ɛno nso wɔ invite me Ike. Bra na bɛkasa. Wo kasa nyina mpɛ sɛ metumi da sɛnea woda no. Pɛ sɛ metumi da nti bɛkasa. Na maba mekasa nyina na woda na megye wo. Mekasa na woda na megye wo. Dɛm na ɔte. So I spoke about volunteering, right? And then mentorship. See, you, as part of being deliberate, identify somebody, go to the person and say that I want you to be my mentor. When I went to school, my supervisor, my professor, it was not the school that assigned him to me. The orientation, when he spoke, and I realized that no, and I went to read his profile. I said, this is somebody I can work with. So I sent him text message, Prof, for my stay in China for the next 2 years, I want you to be my mentor. Yes, I told him. He said, okay, I'll travel. When I come and let's talk. Then when he came, he invited me. We went, we discussed. And by the time we finished discussing, he said, oh, if you want to do PhD, I'll help you. That's how I even did PhD. I only went there to do masters. But after speaking with my professor for the first time, he told me, he said, if you want to do PhD, I will help you. I said, of course I want to do PhD. Then I gave him condition. When your friend I gave him condition under which I will stay there to do the PhD. And he agreed. And that's how I stayed. So as part of being deliberate, you know that your interest is aligned with somebody else's interest. Go to the person. That young man I'm telling you about, sometimes he comes to my office and he says, Doc, I want to come and be sweeping your office. He's a student, first class student. He comes to me, Doc, is there any work you want me to help you with? Sometimes me wear Juma pa, but I just will not give him to do. Unless I don't want me pa my friend. But you are sitting in church, there are a lot of professionals around you, and I will break. Once it's how I can break, so they'll be break. And because God has planted people in your space, and you just don't know how to go and speak to people and learn from people. Let them push you in places. This young man, because he is always Bibi I know about, Bibi I know about. So even internship, I have to be calling people for him because Baba, no, we need maybe a major internship. It becomes my responsibility to help him. And you know, I may home, but because he's always coming to me, I am under compulsion to look for a place for him. Don't waste all this. Church is one of the richest places because you have an assemble of professionals from all backgrounds. Especially our young ones. Should I finish? Aha. Okay, so what is the growth plan, right? What is a growth plan? Clearly define your goals. Clearly define your goals. Know where you are, where you want to be in the next 5 to 10 years, and map the steps. What are the things I need to do in the next 5 to 10 years? Who are the people that must come to my space? Who are the people I need to talk to? Me, I've told you the people that I'm talking to because who say I am in the money zone. Means economy here. Until the people that will get me the training to make money, they are the people I'm speaking to. So don't be offended if I don't speak to you. I she said, yeah, I will speak to you because conform of my is come and friend for yes, that's my target. Build skills and experience. Seek training. Like this young man I'm talking about. He was in my office 2 or 3 days ago. You know what he wants to do? He wants to start his project work. He is now going to year 4. They will start project work in January. But he has started because he is part of my team of people I train for the research. So he came to me this week. He says, look, I want to start so that by the time school reopens, I'm ahead. And he told me that he wants to raise a CWA. He wants his CWA to go high. So he is targeting that his research will be very good so that that one will raise his CWA. Oh, I didn't know it. I didn't know it. No. So he came, we discussed the topic. I gave him assignment, go and read this. Even the budget that they read, I told him to listen. and take notes related to his project. Build skills, seek experience, seek training, network strategically. This is very important. See, we are Christians. So you can't just network with, we say network, network, network. Obi a na okodi n'akyi. Wanhwɛ yi a, it will derail your what? Your godly values. So you have to be strategic. And yes, I can I say, hey, Dr. Ike, I say I hear networking, networking. I say, I used to say, cast your net wide. Maybe a no, 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 no. No, that's not what we are saying. So as part of being deliberate, you have to be strategic. You have to be strategic. See, even in church, it's not everybody in church who can help you. One lady, when we were children growing up in the church, inside her, she said that she wanted to be secretary, professional secretary. But do you know that the discouragement when she talks to people, they say, hey, when you are secretary, your boss will sleep with you. So she is now a nurse. But that time, inside her, she wanted to be a secretary. But this is what was told her. And even in church, because unfortunately, yeah, even in church, because and there is Bible. The Bible now will go yeah, and yeah. But look at what you want to do and who can help you. It's important. Kamiyo, nanti na mama. Wait till I'm a moment to actually. Wait. Maza, what the serious I had na who can do? Yɛne aburo yɛne nkyiadeɛ wo so masa mo ani bro. Be adaptable, be flexible on yourself, be flexible. You know the Legon, our professor who is a associate, no, now he is a national coordinator, right? Professor Amwati. Several years ago, I went to his office at Gimpa because when I worked with Barclays Bank for 1 year, and then I left. I joined another company in Kumasi, a small company that was doing
I believe that the time we have used for this session is worth it because there are a lot of things that personally I think it will help us build ourselves, get to a position where we can also be looking for things, can be looking for opportunities, great